Hello, guys. Hello. It's me. I'm alive still, okay? Finally, there's a new video. So basically, Okay, let me put my camera a bit down. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a second, give me a second. Shit. Actually, goddamn, okay. Hello. So, I, um, I want to make this video because I found this album, right, and I love it. I really love it. Um, Now, at first I didn't want to really make a video because I felt like, by the way, it's gonna be completely uncut because I don't want to bother editing or anything. My camera's kind of shit. I hope I can get a new one soon because when I move, it's like it looks weird sometimes like this. This looks fucking weird. Um, you get the idea. Um, but yeah, this is gonna be a video about the album by the time I get to Phoenix by Entry Reserve. But before we're gonna start, I got some vinyls like right here on the wall. Um, this is like I guess kind of new. I don't know if many people saw it. I don't think so actually. Since it is pretty new. I don't know. I changed them a bit because you have like Aphex in here. You have some Kendrick Lamar, Untitled Unmastered, Dark Throne, Lift Your Skinny Fists, Depeche Mode here, there. You got Igor up there. You got Unos 96, Squid, Lil Yachty, and Human by Def, and I like it. Um, Today we're gonna talk about a different album. I might make a video about like this album, maybe this one, this yeah, this one. Um, because I really like it. Maybe this one too. But today, as I said, we're gonna finally get to the topic now. It's about Injury Reserve and their album By the Time I Get to Phoenix, and why I think it's a 10 out of 10. Now, don't mind my face being like all like weird. I got like fucking acne on my face. It's like fucking stupid because I'm trying to get rid of it. Actually, I've been like washing my face like a lot. Like I mean pretty much each day, like each 1 or 2 days, the past like half a year, and it's not going away for some reason. So please don't mind that. Please, thank you. That would be great. That album that we're gonna talk about, I don't have it as a vinyl yet, but I want to get it because it's really good, and I think it's a 10 out of 10. And we're gonna talk about why it's a 10 out of 10 for me today. Now, of course, it's all like subjective. Like, of course, music isn't objectively like good or bad, except you can argue about that sometimes. I guess it depends. But we're gonna talk about the 10 out of 10 rating by me today. And why I think it's a 10 out of 10. So let's start with saying this album is incredible. And if you're watching this right now, I'm gonna explain in this video what the album is about. So if you don't know the album yet, I will explain that, and then you might actually like it, or like you want to check it out maybe, because it's pretty damn good. And I would recommend anyone to check it out. It's basically this album by a trio called Injury Reserve, yeah, and well, the album is about. I think it's. I'm not sure. They didn't mention this, but right before they made it, one of the members sadly died. So rest in peace, of course. Um, there's still some verses by him on the album because it's like older stuff, or they were already working on it maybe while in the meantime when they were working on it he died, I guess. I'm not quite sure. But one thing I can tell you one important thing. This album is actually it's terrifying. It's kind of terrifying. And we'll get to that soon. Because there's some lyrics that are actually generally like they make you think about the album. And that's a good thing. I like to think about music. Look, if you listen to like I don't know, let's say I put on like a okay, I don't want to hate anyone right now. I'm not gonna. I don't want to hate on anyone, okay? But like, if you put on like a fucking Ed Sheeran song, it doesn't really want to make me like think. By example, it's like one of them is rap, one of them is not, one of them is like pop. But you get the idea. I mean, most rap music has like meaning behind it. I feel like, except some exceptions. This one has a lot of meaning, and what I really like about this album is basically how it starts with the first song. The first song is Outside. And this album might be about the death of that member that I mentioned earlier. Um, you can kind of take that from some things that are being said. Right? So that's why I really like the album. It has a lot of great lyricism. Right away when you start with the first song, it's like it kind of feels like at the start you're just like listening to someone speak where there's like sirens in the background and everything. And throughout this entire album the sound is super like wide. You can feel it from left to right, to the front and to the back, and it's crazy. It's all over the place, it's everywhere. And that's why I love this so much. That's another point I really like. The instrumentation in this album. It's incredible because it has so many different types of sounds, right? It's actually really cool. And that's basically when you start listening to you'll understand. Because right away the first song is like, as I just said, a lot of silence going on, or stuff like that, and then there's lyrics. But the first part is more like a, how do you call it? Like voice, open spoken word. I don't know, stuff like that, spoken word type of stuff. That's the start of the album. But then the song is like I think it's pretty long. It's like 6 minutes long, and it's really good. Um, it's someone talking at the start. I think it's one of the members, or I don't know if it's a sample. And then after that, there's like a verse. There's like the first verse of the entire album, and it's pretty cool. This entire album is like, you'll notice it's gonna feel like there's something missing in the album, right? Like something is missing, and that's a good thing. Like they're doing it in a good way. It's not like something's missing in a way of like, okay, this sounds empty as hell. It's like you can feel that something's just not right. You can actually like feel it when you listen to it. That's what I felt. I can tell you, like, on the day I sat down to listen to this album, right? It was like night, and I was bored. I was playing some Minecraft, I think. And I put it on because I've seen the album before in like videos on YouTube, like people mentioning it. And there was this one song that was like really catchy to me, and that's the second song of the album. Yeah, pretty much that's what I listen to at night, and then I just kind of feel like it was very confusing at first, and that's what this album is like. It is very confusing, and it will still be probably after the first few listens. You have to actually listen to some a few times, and I would say it's worth it. I give this album a 10, and there's a reason I give this a 10. I give every song a 10 except two songs, I'm pretty sure. So the first song we already discussed, Outside, is called, right? That's one of the best intros to an album I've heard. Because as you go through it, it kind of feels like someone's like running. It's like someone's running to somewhere. And that's like, it kind of, even though the album title is themed around an old jazz song, which was the favorite song, I think, of the person of the trio that died, it still feels like the title means something by the time I get to Phoenix. It feels like someone's going to Phoenix, like the city. And someone's running there because outside it sounds like they're running. Right? So, I don't really know if that has to do anything with that, but I really like that. The like kind of running part, it sounds like it's getting like faster near to the end. The last like 2 or 3 minutes are instrumental of that song. And then you get to the second song. And this song is called Superman That. Right? The first song of the album I've heard. I must say it's very good. I like the lyrics, I like the vocals and everything. There's a lot of autotune on it, which might be like what some people might say it's like well, there's of course it's like people who don't like autotune that much. Like I've heard some people like always like be like autotune nowadays everyone sings with autotune. Like it's not that deep, you know. No, not everyone uses autotune, and even if they do, it's just a tool, you know. Like time moves on, and you get more stuff out of things. You're able to create more stuff, you know. So what I'm trying to say is that the second song of this album feels really weird. Um, I like the. This is probably one of the best instrumentals of the album, or like one of the most like understandable instrumentals. Like, if there was like, if you had to pick one song from the album, I would say it's the most mainstream one, the most like radio type one that you would hear on the radio. Maybe it has to be the second one, and it's not even a bad thing on that one because I actually genuinely like the way it's done. Now here's the reason: the lyrics are interesting. It's like he says, "Ain't no saving me and you," and then there's a part by another person. I'm not quite sure who does which part exactly, but I'm pretty sure one person of the three is only a producer. So yeah, that's that song, and then we just move on from there, and we get to W.S. San Francisco, which is like a well, it's just like it's a more simple song, I think. At least at the start, I guess. I like the bass in that one. The bass is very good, and it's kind of like this, like, kind of feels like a bit of an interlude, in a way, to the next song, because it's one of the more like basic ones, but it also kind of doesn't. Like, there's not really any interludes on the album that are actually titled interludes, but if I could describe one song as an interlude track, it would be that one, or Ground Zero either. And like, I still like the song, and I don't hate it, of course. But I think it's one of the worst ones of the album. But I also really like it at the same time. It's so hard to to say it. Like, I'm very confused right now. Hold on, give me a second. But you know what I'm saying. It's just, how do I explain this? Well, I really like the way it sounds. I feel like it's building up to something, and then the drums kick in at some point, and I really like the lyrics in this one. Like where he says, for example, I don't think they get it. They were too hard headed. I'm pretty sure. I might be quoting some stuff wrong. I'm doing this all just one take without looking anything up because I want to have like just a clear mind right now. So I hope you understand that. So every song so far has been really good in this album, and it's continuing this way. I actually really like the next one as well. It's maybe one of my favorite ones. Footwork in a Forest Fire. This one has the craziest instrumental, man. Like, god damn, how did they make this? It's like, you should definitely listen to this one. If you're planning to listen to, if you don't want to listen to an entire album and still want to kind of check this out, listen to the fourth song, Footwork in a Forest Fire. It's so cool. Like, actually, I've never heard anything like this. People say this album is like post rap, and I kind of get that, you know? It kind of makes sense. So the fourth song, it starts with this like drumming. It's like a lot of drumming stuff going on in the background. I don't even fucking know how to describe this, man. This is actually insanity. And I'm all here for it. And that song is really nice because the vocals come in. We don't really expect them to that much. Because at one part, the vocals kind of come in. It's like a breathing. It's like a, and it was like you know. so they don't actually come in that part. It's kind of like a joke, I guess. I guess you just got pranked or something. I don't know, something like that. But they actually do come in like the same time. How do I explain this? I think like that fake out happens at like 4 bars or like something, or like 8 bars, and then the actual vocals come in like a bit after either the 8th bar or 16th bar. It's like the double the time basically, if you get what I'm saying. And when that comes in, holy fuck, the vocals are good. They build so much tension in the song. I don't understand how you make this. And I've seen people give this like a review, a little one, on YouTube. Like, well, me personally, I watch Brad Tasty Music. I like his content, and I also watch Fantano sometimes, but I don't really like watch him actively or anything. I just think some of his reviews are pretty cool, and I think it's cool that he's showing like so many albums and stuff. Um, yeah, so when they come in, it's crazy. Because it's like this kind of like high pitched voice a bit. It's like manic in the skies, there's panic in the sky. Even when it's down below, there's nowhere to go. You better run and hide. It's wow. The delivery is really awesome. And then at some point, um, the vocal goes like, "You know what you know, you know what you know," and then it's like, it kind of turns into like a scream at the end. Then it cuts off, and then the other vocals start with the normal pitch, from the same person who did the vocals in the last song. I'm pretty sure, near like at the drum part at least. That's what I know. And then when you pass that, you can hear the vocals start, but you can hear that scream from before go on again after the vocals have started like a bit, and it's so perfect. Man, it's a really damn good song. I hope people will actually like check this out. It's so worth it actually. And then you get to the next song. Yeah, then you get to Ground Zero. This song I'm not too like crazy about it. Like it's still like a 8 or 9. I'm not sure. I mean, of course, this entire album is like kind of the same vibe and stuff. Of course, I'm gonna give like the album like all like a 10 pretty much. I just rounded it up. It's like it's still a 10 for me because it's probably like a 9.6 or 9.7 or something. So I just rounded it up. This song is cool, though. It feels like a little like interlude. It kind of does, yeah. As I said earlier, this feels like it's just an interlude to go into Smoke Don't Clear. It's also like the shortest song on the album, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay, it is. I just checked. I'm checking right now, actually, yeah. Okay, so that's the shortest song on the album. I think it's good for interlude. It's like pretty damn interesting. But then we get to another really good song. And this one, Smoke Don't Clear, it starts off with like I think it's the one from the trio that sadly passed away. I don't want to keep like saying die because that's kind of weird. I'm not gonna get monetized anyway, so it doesn't matter what I say really. But still, like, you know what I mean. That one, it hits, yeah. I like the way like the entire like mixing stuff is working out at the start. It's super clean. It sounds amazing, pretty much. It's like you get, how do I explain this? It's like a lot of like kind of like kicky type sounds, and then you go into the song, and then it's like some vocals in the background, like that you can hear, which this album does, by the way. This album has great vocal mixing stuff. That's what I can say. There's some great mixing on some of the vocals, some nice effects, some very nice executed ideas, and I really like that. It sounds really cool. So then you get to the part where the vocals start, and it's like they have these like kind of whispering type vocals going on that kind of like fade sometimes from left to right. I'm pretty sure. Or did they? No idea right now actually, but those are combined with the actual vocals. They're like in the foreground. And then those vocals from the background in that song come into the foreground after. And the good thing is, it's not repetitive because you don't actually hear too much what the background vocals are saying because you focus on the foreground vocals. But you still notice them being there. And that's very well done. So they basically, what they did, they made like a perfect, they put it at the perfect volume, I guess. Like if they made it too loud, you would have been able to like hear what they're saying, you know? It would have been like overlapping. And if it would have been too quiet, you wouldn't have noticed it too much, you know? So they perfectly overlap that. Oh, and then we get to a song. Then we definitely get to a song. Top picks for you. This one is the most well, it's kind of one of the most terrifying ones. With the lyrics. It's some very crazy lyricism, like him talking about what appears to be seeing something, what appears to be his shadow. Oh, let me look at the lyrics real quick. Topics for you. Okay, where's the part? Here. No, actually, I can't find it right now. Oh, there. I see a lot more than what appears to be a shadow. He walks across the room. I see a lot more than seems to be patterns. I scan the room. I see bits and pieces of you scattered. It's those same patterns that can get us through the next chapter. No. You blow up through this home. You have it too much after. Grab the remote. Pop up something you would have watched. I'm like, classic. This some shit I would have seen you watch, and then just laughed at. Your patterns are still in place and algorithm still in action. These lyrics are just, I like them. They're really cool. They're very interesting to listen to. And read, of course. Because mostly in this album you don't understand the lyrics sometimes. Because it like, as I said, it like overlaps. There's one certain song where there's like a lot of lyrics going on while other lyrics are going on. And that you can barely hear, and it's very hard to hear what they're saying. I don't know which song that is right now, but I'll let you know if I think about it. If I can get it in my head. That song is great. And the melody is just like, it has a great melody. That's not what I was meant to say. I mean the instruments in the song. Like the instrumental overall has a great melody. It's like, and it's changing over time as well. It's kind of like getting more like distorted, more like kind of off-tuned. Like the tunes change, the pitch changes. It's going all around. Really cool. I like that. That's a positive thing. Like that's a big positive point I have about the song. And yeah, this is as well like a 10 out of 10 for me. Like so far, the songs, I can tell you, we've had Outside, which is a 10 for me. Superman That is a 10 for me. The WS San Francisco is a 10 for me. The Footwork in a Forest Fire is a 10 for me. Ground Zero is like a 9. Spot Road Clear is a 10. Topics for is a 10. Next one, Wild Wild West, is like a 9. Then we have Postpartum, which is a 10 for me. Need is like a 9 to 10, I'm unsure right now. And Bystorm is another 10. So yeah, Topics for You, great song. Then we get to Wild Wild West, which is like, I'm not sure. I don't really love the song too much. And I'm trying to get it more because I look at the lyrics and I'm very, very confused. I'm so confused about the lyrics. I didn't look up anything what that means, of course. I don't want to like spoil anything for me too much, but what I've seen, well, the lyrics are basically like they're saying like, 5G high speed. It's the wild wild west out here. Stay on your PS and QS. Yeah, that's what they're pretty much just repeating, and then they say like, one click and let him have it. High speed soaring. Get baggage back to start to spazzing. It's Willie Smith. What? I don't get the song at all. That's the problem. I don't understand the song. That's my issue. I don't know what to do with this. So I'm not gonna talk about it. That's what I'm saying. Except one thing I can say, the instrumental is good as well. Of course. It's good for this entire album, basically. But I'm just gonna leave the song out. Okay, now we got Postpartum. Now this song, it grew on me a lot recently. Mainly because of one thing. One little lyric in this entire... Well, there's just one lyric in this song that makes it so special for me. And I quote, let me look at this. There you go. And you look around, and they look just like you. I like that a lot. And there's no particular reason for me to like it that much. But I kind of feel like there also is. It sounds like he's talking about like, oh yeah, since you passed away, every person I see reminds me of you, you know. I look around and it reminds me of you. I'm in the studio, for example, where we were at, it reminds me of you, I'm thinking of you, and he's missing him, you know. That's what it sounds like to me when he says that. And this is also the song where I was like, yeah, there's a lot of lyrics going on at the same time. Because there's like literally like 5 brackets or 6 brackets back to back. Right after it. Is there anything else that's interesting here? Well, the lyrics are like, don't you know I had my arms open, soak it all in, postpartum. Yeah, pretty much. I'm kind of looking at this right now. It's been a blessing just to see you grow, but as soon as you see red, I should have seen red. You already know we tried every angle, turned over every trick, every stone. One more to go. Please, it just turned to my season. Yeah. I don't get too much about the song either. These are like not easy to understand. This kind of feels like it's a bit easier to understand in Death Grips, but it's also like a bit below, you know. You have to like actually like, it takes time, and it probably takes research, because why would I figure all of this out myself? That is probably impossible. I have to sit down in my room and just think for like 10 hours to figure out what one song would mean. Look, I don't want to do that, of course. That being said, this song is a 10. Yeah. As I just said. And this one's an interesting one, because I like the start. It's just like, it's like this, you hear nothing much until you hear like a singing, like a ooh kind of thing. And then it continues, and then the same thing comes again, but the last ooh is hold longer. Oh wait, no, it's like ooh ooh something, I don't know. And then there's like a kick and like a crash at the same time. It's like a doom. That's not how that sounds. But you know what I mean. And that's where the song really kind of like starts. What I would say. And I like that part a lot from there. The vocals are great in this. They sound like they have like some kind of like, they're like kind of airy. This entire thing gives me like a feeling of like being like high up in the air for some reason. I don't know why. or it gives me like this feeling of like being on like an airplane or something. It kind of does. You know, that's that song. We like that one. And then we get to Nice, and then we get to an interesting song because me and my friend, we were discussing the song. I'm pretty damn sure, I hope so at least. And he was pointing out how like, oh, you know the lyrics. Let me open them up real quick. They're very interesting here as well. They're like, knees hurt me when I grow. That's a tough pill to swallow because I'm not getting taller. That's a great part, but there's one better part. I'm trying to find that. All these bottles that been killing. Got my stomach a little bit lower than it's supposed to be. So he's been drinking. I think he had drinking problems or something. I don't know. Is that what the song is referring to? Because I'm unsure. I don't know much about if you can like gain a lot of weight from drinking. Because I don't drink personally. But it could be. So I guess my assumption would be they're referring to that he was drinking a lot and then he got like, he gained a lot of weight. And that's what happened. Well, I'm not sure about it. I don't want to make... It's just a theory that I have for this album because, of course, if you make an album like this, you kind of like gotta make up theories, as a fan. Because there's no actual way to like understand exactly what they're saying. And that's not a bad thing, actually. I like that. I think that's good because if you make an album, you're not supposed to 100% know what someone is referring to. And now that I think back, when I was like 3 years or 2 years younger, I once laughed at my friend, or like my ex, well, the person I was dating at the time. I laughed and I was like, yo, who does that? Like, come on, who makes songs that have like references or something? Just say what you want to say. Looking back at that, it's quite funny. Because, well, I grew up as a person. Like, I grew up more like a lot of things changed about me in that time. And now I think differently. And I think that's exactly what you should do in a song. Rather than saying something just obvious, you should make it interesting and make it like kind of like a story. That's what music is for, it's art after all. Now, of course, both paths kind of work. If you make it good, it will work in both ways. You can either directly say it or just turn it into a story, right? It doesn't really matter too much, except it depends on the context, of course. That's what matters. It depends on what the album's going for. And I think in this album, it fits perfectly. That's why I'm gonna give this a 10 as well. Yeah, a bit ago I said I'm not sure about 9 or 10, but I feel like just for like those lyrics, I'll give it a 10. It plays a very very significant part in the actual album that we're listening to. And that's why it's a 10. Now we're at the last song, I'm pretty sure. Jesus Christ, can I get this away? There you go. By Storm. Good outro. It has a nice melody. I like the melodiness. Very, very good outro, actually, yeah. What do I say about this one? I feel like I don't have much to say. Except it's like a really... It feels longer than it is, actually. Let me look at the lyrics. It rains, it pours. By storm. Show must go on. We got caught by a storm. Yeah, this one is also hard for me to understand. I have no idea what to say about this one. Other than that, it's just a good song overall. I think I've once heard what it was about, kind of, but I guess they're just like, well, they're saying they're in a storm, and they're saying by storm, I guess. So which could mean technically, if you think about it, that they were in like a rainstorm. So they were in like a sad mood because of the passing, maybe. Is that what this refers to? Not quite sure, but that could be one thing. I feel like that makes sense. And now they're saying by storm, like they're trying to like move on, maybe. That would make a lot of sense actually, because this is the outro track. Okay. They're trying to move on from their sadness and try to just accept the thing that happened. You know, I guess that's it. Yeah, that makes sense. So, to sum this entire thing up, I like this album. I think it's great. I think it's worth listening to. It's one of my favorite albums of all time, definitely. As the second album, I gave a 10. I gave To Pimp a Butterfly kind of a 10. I wasn't too sure. I gave it like a 95 or 96. But I might change it to a 10. Well, because of, well, obviously, I mean, first of all, everyone's giving it a 10, and I understand why. You know, it's not about like your opinion being influenced. It's more about like listening to what people have to say about this and listening to them. Like, listening to why they think it's a 10. And I did that, and I understand why. And I think it's a great album. It's musically very good. The music is very nice. The lyrics are very nice. Everything is nice. Production is good. Just like this one. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm happy with this decision that I'm gonna give it a 10. Because it's just a very special album to me. Now, many people like that I have mentioned this like early in the video. I've saw some people giving some 10s in this album. Mainly for songs like Topics for You and Knees. And while those songs are very good, and I really like Topics for Me, I think I might actually prefer like Footwork in a Forest Fire and Outside and Postpartum. Even though I didn't like Postpartum first. I have a very weird time with this album because I listened to it the first time alone at night, and I was very confused. And I think I've kind of just stopped after like the first 5 songs. I'm not sure about that though. And then one day I met up with my friend who we listened to Violence together. We listened to, for example, this album over here together, the Godspeed You album. We listened to that together. And that was a very good listen. That's a good memory I have. Because he was just sitting over there at the side of my bed. He was actually just feeling it. It was really nice to see. And then we listened to this album. And this album, I really like this album. I thought this was a great listen. And he thought that too. We both really liked it. It was such a great moment because it's finally an album that we both really liked. Yeah. And that's about it. I don't think I have anything more to say. I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you all have a great rest of the day or whatever time it is for you. And I hope you will check this out sometime. It's 41 minutes long. It has like 11 songs and it is very good. Very nice album. Goodbye.